Guys, for this edition, I am going to talk about near-death experiences because I lived one. I lived through one. I was 5 years old. Basically, to set it up, my mom was friends with somebody at the Eagles Club back in '85, and she held a casket down the basement. Didn't tell us what death or casket was or anything. We just thought it was a big, huge box and it was cool to play in. Wrong. Anyway, she sent me and my little brother down to the basement to play hide and seek and everything. I don't remember exactly why we couldn't go out and play with all the other friends, but she wouldn't let us go out. So anyway, so I went and I hid in that casket. I had the lid, cracked and everything. I don't really remember exactly how, but it slammed down and it clicked. And I was screaming and kicking and trying to get out of there and everything. And my little brother ran up the stairs and he was laughing his ass off about it and everything. Mom and Dad couldn't hear us at all. Couldn't hear me at all. And my little brother wasn't talking. He wasn't saying anything. What I remember is, and it's so vivid because I still have this memory. It's sort of like a haunting memory that I have that I guess I'm stuck with for the rest of my life. So I remember that it got really extremely hot. I remember that sweat got in my eyes and it stung, and I had closed my eyes because it stung. And the minute I did that, I realized I couldn't move my body. I couldn't move my hands, my arms, my legs. I couldn't make sound. Between realizing that, the next thing I know or remember is leaving my body. And I remember seeing a light, and I remember seeing darkness. I was like in the middle. And I guess it's because I hadn't chose which path I was going to go on or whatever. I guess that's what everybody says. But anyway, and I remember when I looked into the light, I didn't go into it. I just looked into it. I could see me laying in that casket, and I could see my mom. I could see my dad, all crying and everything. I could see a whole bunch of people around the casket and everything, trying to get my mom and my dad away from the casket. So I'm assuming it was, cops and paramedics and everything at that time. My little brother's still snickering in the corner. You gotta understand, me and my little brother, we've had a sibling rivalry since we could walk and talk. And it still goes on today. So we don't see eye to eye at all. But anyway, I saw that and I got scared. I couldn't understand why I was seeing me laying in this box and what was going on and everything, and I got really scared. The next thing I know, I had this feeling of like a whole bunch of people surrounding me. I couldn't see them, but I could feel hands and everything. I could hear them saying, "It's not your time, princess. You've got to go back, princess." They always said princess, and I never understood that either. I think it was just something being little and everything. Next thing I know, it was like dropping, like falling from the sky, really, really super, super fast and everything. When I did wake up, I remember that I was not on the bed. I was stretched. I was on the sort of like kneeling with my arms stretched out and everything, but I fell to the floor. I couldn't remember who I was. I couldn't talk, couldn't walk, couldn't do anything. I had to basically relearn everything all over again. I remember that I had to go through kindergarten all over again because of this incident. Now, I know my mom and my dad probably don't remember it and everything, which is fine. But I always remember it. It's, like I said, it's a memory that haunts me all the time. But I'm kind of curious to see what your guys' intake is on near-death experiences and everything. I know that they say once you've had a near-death experience, your whole life changes. You start sensing things and hearing things and seeing things that ain't around, that normal people can pick up and everything. And I find this to be true because I am a sensitive, and sometimes I do hear voices, or I see entities, see people that no one else can see or no one else can hear them. And it's not freaky for me, but I just want to know what your guys' intake is on near-death experiences, what you think, or if you had one, you could share your story if you're ready to share it. But that happened back in 1985. I was 5 years old, and I still live with that memory 30 years later, and I'm probably going to live with that memory till the day I die, because it was so vivid. I could remember every little detail.